There are few topics more divisive in Instagram than bots and automation. You have one side who is fighting for their right to use them, says they aren't doing anything wrong and it is fine. And you have the other side, I'd say the vast majority, who hates the bots, they hate the automation, they don't know the difference, they don't want to, and they want anybody who uses it off the platform. I gotta tell you, I was on the latter team until I started my research about bots and automation. I get asked a lot, should I use bots and automation? And I think my answer will surprise you, because my answer surprised me. You are listening to the Creative Women's League podcast. I'm your host and biggest fan, Kate Toney. Creative women entrepreneurs all over the globe turn to the Creative Women's League for social media advice, marketing help, and to get their minds in the mode to achieve bigger than they ever thought possible. Whether it's hearing the journey of your favorite creative badasses or the expert business advice shared, CWL is here for you with a whole lot of laughs, heaps of honesty, and endless support. Because over here, we know the secret sauce to building your creative empire all starts with motivation, inspiration, know-how, and community. If you want to exceed every goal, defeat the doubt, cast out fear, and connect with your fellow creative Wonder Woman, well, my dear, it's time to join the Creative Women's League. I've had today's episode in the works for a very long time. I started writing this outline long ago, but couldn't really find any good, non-biased information about bots and automation. Mostly people would tell you what bots and automation were and then say, but don't do it, it's bad. And I believed it. I mean, hey, we've all had bots like our pictures, comment, follow us, DM us, any of those things. It's annoying. So this episode was going to be another in a long line of bashing bots and automation. So hard. I mean, I was going to come out here and just rip on it. Until I started doing my research. It changed some things. It didn't change my ultimate standpoint on bots, but it definitely made me understand automation's place in Instagram. The question is, did it change my opinion of should you be using bots? So if you Google bots and automation for Instagram, you're going to find everything from how they're going to save your business to how using them will make everyone hate you and your family will abandon you and you'll be the laughing stock of the entire universe. There will be aliens laughing at you because you used bots. The situation of using bots and automation, which are two different things, it doesn't require either of those extremes, by the way. Bots and automation are what they are. I've decided to give you the facts on them, let you decide what you want to do from here with zero judgment from me. Zero. I can promise that. I'm going to break the whole thing down for you. First off, bots and automation are different, okay? They're used interchangeably, but that's not correct. People will say bots about everything. Not how it works. Bots are fake accounts that are set up to like, comment, DM, or follow others to affect a certain action, right? They want you to buy a product, download an app, follow an account, whatever it is. Automation is when someone likes, comments, follows, or DMs on behalf of you. So you are automating those things through a service. More often than not, this is to up a follower count. It can be to increase sales or go to the website, whatever. What also follows under automation are apps like Later and Planoly. Those are apps that you put your pictures into and it will post on behalf of you. They help you schedule your content. They help you house your hashtags, which might also be why Later is one of the best resources about bots and automation. I think they want to distance themselves from the bad stuff and remind you that they're there for the good stuff. Quote, unquote, bad stuff. I promise you no judgment and I mean it. So as I mentioned, bots and automation, as we're talking about it here, they follow under a few areas. Auto-like, auto-comment, auto-follow, follow back, unfollow, and delete posts. Auto-like will like photos for you. Auto-comment will use phrases that you set to comment on certain photos. Auto-follow will search for accounts and follow them. Follow back will auto-follow back anyone who follows you. Unfollow will unfollow any account that you auto-followed that didn't follow you back after a certain time period that you set. And delete posts. This will delete every pic you have over a set amount of time. So with things like auto like and auto comment and even auto follow, you're setting the parameters on where they're going to find these people. It can be under a certain hashtag. It can be somebody else's follower count. It can be at a certain location, like a location tag. You'll set where you want them to go find the people, and they will go auto like, auto comment, or auto follow. A lot of automation services will also schedule posts and stories and house your hashtags for you, kind of like Later and Planoly does. So it's kind of like this whole service, right? A few of them that I found were like anywhere between $10 and $20 a month. And it was much more than just automation. It was all social media management. One of the things with automation is that you set the parameters, right? So I said that you want to go follow people under this hashtag, or you want to go follow followers of your competition. You'll also set the amount that they do per hour, which is hugely important. We'll go over that in a minute. But you're able to follow 20 people every hour for the next 24 hours. So is automation allowed by Instagram? That is one of the most important questions, right? And if you ask me, it looks like it's up to interpretation. Not helpful, right? I listened to a podcast and they said unequivocally, these are the rules on Instagram. And not a single one of them says that these automation features are not allowed. I read an article and it said, you can see by the rules, as I list here, that automation is not allowed. So kind of up to interpretation. What I will say is this: millions of people use automation every single day. And Instagram allows these companies to use their API, and they've even set up parameters to rein in the behavior, but not eliminate it. Ultimately, it's a big case of how you interpret it. So many people say it's not explicitly not allowed. That's a double negative. It isn't not allowed. So many people say, are you kidding me? It's right there. You can't do it. Why are you doing this? You're ruining everything. But millions of people, some of the biggest accounts, some of the people you follow right now are using automation to get things done. So that's about automation though. Automation being allowed by Instagram. Are bots allowed by Instagram? Because as we said, they're two different things. No, literally never. No, because bots are fake people. They aren't real people. Instagram is trying to go towards real connections, real people, real things, right? So bots are not allowed by IG. You should never buy followers. Don't do it. It's a risky game. The story that everybody tells every time is about the rapper, Mace. You might remember him from the 90s. I think he did the Rugrats rap. Not the Rugrats rap. But you know, the song from the Rugrats movie. Yeah. Mace had something like 2 million followers on Instagram and was doing great. All of a sudden, one day, the reckoning came. And that was when Instagram did a huge cleanup and got rid of as many spam and bot accounts as they could. And his account fell by more than half. So it was clear to everybody that he had been buying Instagram followers to look cool. And he became a laughing stock. I mean, it's horrible, but he really did. And Mace is now the cautionary tale that everybody tells. Don't be like Mace. A reckoning will come. They come very often now. And when your follower account tumbles like that, you will be exposed. It's not good. This is one thing that I'm not really going to cover today. You shouldn't do it. This is the one thing I will take a hard line about. It's literally not allowed to have fake accounts follow you or to pay people to follow you. I know that there are some accounts out there that are like, no, they're real followers. If you're paying people to follow you, it's not allowed. Instagram rules state that people must choose of their own accord to follow you. That is where the automation loophole comes into play. You might be automating the interactions, right? So you're paying for a service that's going out and liking people, that's going out and following people, even that's going out and commenting. It's the worst one. But going out and commenting on people's stuff. But these are real people who are choosing to follow you of their own accord. I mean, come on. If someone could work out for you and you got to lose the weight, you do it, right? It's like how they come out with 1,000 diets that are going to change your life. The problem is, just like the workout scenario, just like the miracle diet, automation is not the miracle it sounds like. It's just not. I want to talk to you about the ups and downs of automation. Like I said, this whole episode is not about me judging you on whether or not you choose to do this. It's more about me presenting you with the facts and you making your own choice. There are 2 types of automation that actually have a success rate that could make them worth it for you. That's right, I just said that automation actually is a successful thing. If it wasn't, then the risk wouldn't be worth it. So the 2 types of automation that actually can be used successfully in your business are auto-like and auto-follow. There are numbers out there that say you get 4% returns on auto-liking and a whopping 17% returns on auto-follow. Here's what I want to break down for you. Why does that work? And this goes for Mind and Grind as well. When we go out into the world and we put good things out there like liking and commenting and being kind to other people on Instagram, they feel compelled to return the favor. That's why Mind and Grind works. Not only are you finding people who really do want your information, but by going out there and liking and commenting, people want to do that back for you because it felt so good. So once you bring in auto-like and auto-follow, some people are just naturally going to be like, hey, that's awesome. This account's beautiful and they wanted to follow me. So I'm going to be so nice and return the favor. A lot of us are onto it now and we won't do that. We only follow the things that we really like, but I'm just saying this is how it works. And notice how we're talking about auto-like and auto-follow. So this requires the least amount of actual interaction with a person. So there's not much for the computer to mess up for you. Liking is kind of just niceness out in the world. Auto-liking is definitely the least offensive and the least terrifying. I just want to tell you that a lot of people are on to the follow-unfollow dance, so be wary. And what is that dance, are you asking? These are the people, all of a sudden you'll see a big account is following you. What does that mean? Why are they following me? And then the next day, you'll go to be like, remember that weird big account that followed me? And you'll see they've unfollowed you. They were following you to hope that you would be nice and return the favor and follow them, and then they dip out. Okay? So a lot of people are on to this one, but it does yield like 17% success rate. So it might be worth it for you. The type of automation that is the hardest to pull off and should be avoided is auto comment. We've all gotten the weirdo comments that make no sense. They're so vague and we just know it's not real. Auto comment is most likely to get you busted by the IG police and most likely to annoy people so much that they would never follow you in a bazillion years. We've all had an inappropriate auto comment on our photos. We've all had it. One about an animal who's passed on and the auto comment says, great! It's so bad. We talked about it in last week's episode about how to Mind and Grind, which is the way to organically grow your following. We talked about how these kinds of comments look spammy. We need to avoid making comments that look spammy. The one thing I would say is auto comment is so hard to pull off. And people really feel duped by it because it feels personal. And then when they realize it's not, they're ticked off. No matter what kind of automation you use or if you're doing a Mind and Grind yourself, you always have to be wary of the limit on the interactions per hour that Instagram has set forth. It's one of the ways that Instagram tries to stop automation from taking over the platform. There are limits on hashtags used. There are limits on comments, likes, follows per hour. There are limits on how many people you can follow. The most recent number I heard on interactions per hour is 60 interactions per hour. So what are interactions? Liking, commenting, following. You can only do 60 of those things in 1 hour. One time I was doing Mind and Grind and I was busting it out. It was when I first started and I was liking and I was following and I was commenting and I hit my limit. It was nuts. I got a little alert that said, you are done for now. And it could mean that I got a shadow ban on my account. Honestly, this was years ago. I was not that aware of Instagram. I was doing it for the salon I worked for at the time. But you will get hit on this. I've seen it happen. This is real. But I gotta be honest, I cannot find how people are getting this number. 60 interactions per hour. I have no idea how people have found it. Literally zero information on it. So I can't tell you how to check what the latest number is because they do change. Or at least people say they do. This is one of those hearsay things on Instagram. It's so hard. The experts all have hardcore opinions on it. I don't know if that's because they're running tests, which could be. They could be running their own tests of getting their bots up and hitting out so many interactions per hour and seeing when they get flagged. But I cannot find, if you can find it, tell me. I cannot find anywhere how people are getting this number. But I do know for sure, I told you it's happened to me before, I do know for sure there's a limit and that you want to stay below it. So have fun with that. 60 per hour seems to be a general rule. So I'm sure you're thinking, okay, all this info is great, but does automation even work? Is it worth it? And honestly, I never thought I would say this in this episode, but it can, if you do it right. You set your interactions low per hour. Don't use auto comment to post spammy comments because they all sound spammy no matter what. People can sniff them out at 30 paces. You got to be okay with the fact that your feed is going to be a lot of strangers that you don't care about if you're doing the follow unfollow. And you got to be okay with the fact that very few other people are going to accept this business choice. That's it. People are going to be ticked at you. But it is a business choice. It's nothing personal. If you piss people off by trying to grow your business, well, too bad. To be quite honest with you, I never thought I'd say this in this episode. You will have to live in constant fear of getting caught or shadow banned, especially if you're doing the riskier maneuvers like auto comment or follow unfollow. Here's the crux of it all though. You can have 1 million followers on Instagram. It doesn't gain money on Instagram. If you have a bunch of people who have now followed you back, who have now come to find you, but they don't really care about what you're selling, about what you're doing, about what your business is, then how are you ever going to convert them? To be honest, that is one of the biggest problems. There's another major issue that comes up time and time again, and it's funny, it's across the board. Not just us creative ladies with hearts of gold. It is everybody. I actually heard it said first on a podcast I was listening to by a male photographer. And I was thinking it right as he said it. You want genuine interaction. And there is nothing genuine about automation. And sometimes that's just heartbreaking for some of us. It just doesn't feel right. So that is something you have to think about. It just sometimes just doesn't feel right. And if it feels that way for you, then automation ain't for you. Mine and Grind is for you. However, if you think, F that, I do not care about it, I just need these numbers up, then go for it. Then just go for it. So what would you do instead of automation? First things first, you know that we're going to be putting out quality content all the time. The better your content, the more likely people are to come to your Instagram, choose to follow you, and stay for a very long time. Another thing, you're going to mine and grind yourself. You're going to do this every night for anywhere from a half hour to an hour. The last episode we talked about mine and grind. It is the best way to organically grow your following. All the experts suggest it, 100%. One of the best quotes I heard about mine and grind is, it's time consuming, but it's not time wasting. And there is a difference. It is good time spent into your business. And everybody in my Up-Level Your IG course, the free course that we just finished, said they had great success. Mine and grind is exactly that. It is a grind. So if you just find yourself not making the time to mine and grind, if you find yourself not wanting to do the work, a great in-between of automation and mine and grinding yourself is hiring a virtual assistant to do the mine and grind for you. Show them how you want it done. It's best if it's somebody who really gets you and your business and the things you're looking for. It can be one of your kids. It can be a nephew or a niece. It could be a neighbor who's at home with a baby or otherwise who could spend an hour a day doing this for you and you can pay them. This keeps your time free. It keeps the interactions authentic with a human and you're 100% within the purview of IG. No fear. The one thing I do want to say about that is if you have somebody doing, whether it's a virtual assistant or automation or a family member, anybody, if you have somebody doing mine and grind for an hour, you are not allowed to touch your Instagram for that hour. If Instagram sees 2 different IP addresses using Instagram at the same time, they will shut you down. They will think you're a bot and they will shut you down. So I just had to toss that out there. No matter what method you take, no matter what you do with your Instagram, make sure one person is using your Instagram at one time. Also, some agencies promise real authentic interactions as part of using them for your social media management. Sometimes they do set up bots and automation and you have to be careful that they aren't doing that. Sometimes they will hire a temp, an intern, or whatever, and they will sit there and do the mine and grind for you. You just have to be sure that they're doing it the way that you want it done, no matter who you have hired to do this. And of course, there's always sponsored posts. You pay a little bit to reach your best audience, but if you're going to spend $20 a month on automation, that $20 a month might be better spent on sponsored posts because you're within the purview of Instagram. There's no fear of things. You'll be doing your mine and grind, so you'll keep getting this organic reach. Ultimately, one of the biggest reasons I have found that everybody hates bots and automation is it feels like cheating, doesn't it? It's annoying to work your butt off and watch others gain 500 followers in a week for no reason. It's annoying to have these spammy comments on your posts. It's annoying to think that you got a real follower when they unfollowed you the next day. So I do think that there is a massive emotional response to this. And I don't think that that's unfair. I'll never discount anybody's emotions because I'm a big ball of emotions. I don't think it's unfair to say that that's not fair. I'm just going to ask you that if you find out somebody you know is using automation, not bots, there's a little bit of judgment on the bot front just because you really are going to get hit hard. But if you find out somebody's doing automation, I want you to remember that it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your business. Your business is not going to do worse for it, okay? You just got to remember that. There might be an emotional reaction. You are entitled to that, but really breathe through it. Automation is not the devil coming to kill IG. If your friend is using automation within the parameters of Instagram, not over spamming people and being horrible with it, it's a business choice they're making. You got to accept it. Your Instagram is a business. Instagram is business now. That's what it is. You get to choose what risks you take in your business. You get to choose what decisions you make and nobody else. That's why we want to be our own business owners. So if you feel like the growth is worth it for you right now, then I'm going to tell you to go for it. Be smart about it. Learn to do it really well. There are tutorials out there on the internet, but ultimately you have to do you. And I really thought this episode was going to be automation bashing and I was going to tell you how stupid it was and you should never do it, but I just don't feel that way anymore. I still won't use it. Right now anyway, I can't promise you in the future I won't. I still don't really recommend you use it because I will not put my name on that and then you get shadow banned or banned and then you tell me that I told you should do it. I am also one of those bleeding hearts who believes in real interaction. To me, the stress ain't worth it. But hey, honestly, at the end of the day, if you've taken all this information and you feel like it still just might be worth it for you right now, go for it. You go, girl. You got this. Some of you, your blood might be boiling that I even just gave people the green light to do whatever they want. But, you know, none of us want to be told what to do with our businesses. That's why we have them. We want to be guided. We want to learn how and do our best we possibly can. But outside of that, thank you so much for listening today. Don't forget to head over to the Instagram, Creative Women's League. Sign up over there. Be my follower. Be a real authentic follower. Of course, we will be back next week with a fantastic new episode. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful day. You're still here? It's over. Go home.